Before the screens turned sleek and the brokers turned digital gods, there was chaos. The stock market floor was a jungle, a noisy, sweaty, caffeine-fueled chaos, where one man's profit was another man's funeral pyre. And if you didn't know the system, you were their prey. Every trade you made came with a price, not the stock's price, your brokers. A small cut here, a hidden charge there, and soon you weren't investing anymore. You were feeding the machine. They call it trust, but it was really theater. You weren't the customer, you were the product. The system didn't need your success, it needed your surrender. But somewhere in Bangalore, a different kind of broker was watching. One who didn't wear a suit, didn't care for the commission game. He wasn't chasing clients, he was chasing clarity. And with one quiet click, the spark lit the fuse. The war against the old guard had begun. Zerodha, zero plus Rodha, and no barriers. The name wasn't a slogan, it was a declaration. In a world obsessed with luxury offices and cold calls, this guy chose silence. No brokers in suits, no champagne celebrations, just one man, his laptop, and a vision to cut the middleman. Not with anger, but with logic. Every night was a war, not against people, but against patterns, against systems built to confuse you. He wasn't coding software, he was coding rebellion. Most brokers spoke in jargon, he spoke in code. For them, volatility meant risk. For him, it meant opportunity. The market was a storm, and he was building the lightning rod. While the others sold complexity, he built simplicity. Kite, a platform so light. It felt like trading on air. No clutter, no noise, no nonsense. Just data stripped down to its essence. Investors were torn. Trust the old boys with their shiny suits? Or this lean, quiet rebel with no TV ads, no promises, just results. And slowly, India started to notice the silence. But revolutions never announce themselves. They start in whispers, in sleepless nights, in code written by men who dared to ask, why not simpler? They sold dreams of wealth with glossy billboards and fake smiles. But behind every promise was a fine print sharper than a scalpel. The market wasn't a casino, it was a rigged illusion. Every step you took, a new fee appeared. Convenience fee, maintenance fee, transaction fee, the language of confusion designed to keep you lost. They said, "Sir, you're making the right choice." But what they meant was, "Thank you for the commission." Each call was a handshake in disguise. Some lost lakhs, not because the stock fell, but because the system was built to take its cut before you even blink. They called it transparency, but what they really meant was controlled visibility. Like giving you a flashlight in a blackout and then charging you for the batteries. But the whispers were growing. Reddit threads, WhatsApp groups, coffee table conversations. People were starting to smell the burn under the perfume. He watched quietly. He didn't see just the prices. He saw patterns, not of stocks, but of behavior. And that's where he found the crack in the wall. Because when people lose in markets, it isn't just numbers, it's dreams, rent, and dinner skipped. The system wasn't broken, it was working exactly as intended. That's when it hit him. Finance didn't need another shark, it needed a lifeguard. Someone who could make the deep end safe again. They tested, they broke it, they built again, and finally, when it worked, it felt unfairly simple. The whole brokers laughed, flat fees, they chuckled. That'll never fly. They didn't realize it already had. In a world full of middlemen, Zerodha wasn't asking for permission. It was already rewriting the script. Every storm begins with silence. The suits didn't know it yet, but their monopoly was about to get margin called. It wasn't a name, it was a declaration. Zero barriers. The calmest middle finger the financial world has ever seen. No launch party, no PR, just a quiet upload. Like lighting a match in a gas chamber. The first traders weren't customers, they were believers. Each click was a silent "screw you" to the system. It spread like gossip, untraceable, unstoppable. Word of mouth became the most dangerous marketing weapon ever built. The establishment laughed at first, then they screamed. Then they started bleeding market share like open wounds. When the other brokers crashed, Zerodha's code just smiled back. Cool, quiet, unbothered. For the first time, retail investors felt something new. Peace. The kind that comes when no one else is taking a hidden bite. By the time they stopped laughing, the kid with the laptop had become their biggest competitor. The so-called retail fools were now trading smarter than the institutions. It wasn't luck, it was liberation. You can't challenge power without consequence. The old guard wanted their monopoly back. Regulation, intimidation, anything. But while they plotted in smoke-filled rooms, Zerodha walked in daylight, transparent, unshakable. It wasn't just a milestone, it was an objective for every overpriced middleman who thought transparency couldn't sell. No champagne, no victory lap, just quiet satisfaction. The sound of peace in a world built on noise. But this wasn't the end of Zerodha's story. It was just the moment it stopped being a company and became a movement. When the dust settled, there wasn't a war zone, just a new India. One where the markets finally felt democratic, where wealth didn't need a surname to be earned. They weren't the Wall Street wolves, they were the new tribe. Millions of small traders with big dreams, connected by a single elegant platform. Zerodha didn't advertise, it whispered from trader to trader, a movement carried not by money but by trust. They broke the one rule every broker swore by: make money off the trader. Zerodha flipped the script, empower the trader, and the money follows anyway. Every login, every trade, every rupee moved through an invisible cathedral of data, not to manipulate, but to make the markets fairer. Zerodha didn't just write code, it wrote culture, teaching India that finance didn't have to feel foreign. The same voices that mocked them now called for interviews. The same papers that ignored them now printed their gospel. No IPO, no investor circus, no Forbes photo shoots. Just a man who built an empire and chose silence over noise. Because revolutions don't end, they reboot. Every young mind that logs in today is writing Zerodha's next chapter. And while others chase valuations and venture capital, Zerodha built something rarer: velocity without noise, impact without advertising. It became a ritual. Open the app, check the market, sip the chai. A new Indian prayer written in code. In a world obsessed with love, Zerodha proved that whispers can move nations, that quiet can conquer. And that's the paradox. The broker that said nothing spoke the loudest. And if you're ready to uncover more hidden powers lurking in the brands you use every day, don't just watch, stay with us. Like, share, and subscribe to StratWhisper.
They are profitable. Innovation leading the way.